So let me give you a little bit about my story, a little background about my story for those of you who may not know. So how did I get to be a motivational speaker? And I got to be a motivational speaker without having this as my intention. It was life that really led me to this experience and opportunity that I said, you know what, this is something that I really want to do. And that's because when I was 25 years old, for those of you who may not know my story, when I was 25 years old, I was diagnosed with the autoimmune condition, alopecia areata. Basically, it started off with little round patches of hair that were missing in my scalp. And I went to the doctor. I was diagnosed with this autoimmune condition. As you know about autoimmune conditions, there is no cure, right? So, of course, I was completely wigged out about the whole situation and totally devastated. And unfortunately for me, within 3 years of being diagnosed with that first initial spot, I had developed the rarest form of the condition, which is called alopecia universalis, which is where you lose all of the hair all over your entire body. And that was incredibly devastating. And it was incredibly depressing. And I mean, I had to keep going. You know, it was a functional type of depression where you can't just lay in the bed all day. You got to get up, put your face on, do what you need to do. However, it absolutely made me feel like I wanted to shrink in my life. You know, the extroverted performing artist who loves to take center stage was then feeling as though I really don't want people looking at me. You know, I was wearing a wig, I was covering it up, and I was missing that part of myself, that joy that I used to have because I was suffering with this experience and accepting this new expression of baldness, this look, this person that I did not want to be. And so it took me through this journey, and long story short, within 8 years, I really got to the place where I decided I want to take this wig off. I want to go out in the world without feeling this hot, itchy, uncomfortable wig. I just want to be me. So if this is the situation that I'm in, if there's nothing that I could do about having this disease, and I've prayed and I've cried and I've prayed and I've cried, I've done everything that I could possibly do, and I'm still in this situation, I've got to find a way to deal with it in a way that's more empowering, that I don't feel like a victim for the rest of my life. And so at that moment, I decided to go, yes, look how far God has brought me. That's right, Niyanu. I got friends on here that have been with me from the beginning, when I was the same chick in the bathroom crying, when I was insecure, when they were like, girl, you look good without your wig. You could put your earrings on. You be cute. And I was like, yeah, not so much. I was not feeling that at all. And it took me years to get to the place where I could develop the type of confidence within myself that I would feel like I want to go out to the world bald. Are you kidding me? But look what God can do. And the lesson that I learned about how beauty is really a matter of your perspective. It's your perception. It's how you define it. Nobody can define beauty for you. And if you tell yourself that you're ugly or that you're unworthy, then that's how you'll feel. But when I got to the place where I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I had to say, you know what? I want my life back. I want my joy back. I want to bring sexy back. And I had to own this experience and say, you know what? I'm just going to have to do it my way. And I'm going to go out, take my wig off, and say to the world, hey, you know what? If you like it, great. If you don't, whatever. Regardless, I'm from Wakanda. I'm going to rock it out. Hey, this is me. And I'm going to be free. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life feeling captive to a situation. Enough. And that same power is the same power that we all have. Whatever our challenges are in our lives, that we can overcome them with the power of our mind by shifting your attitude about a thing. And so when I got that aha moment, that was the thing that was like, oh, what? Are you kidding me? I should have done this years ago. I could have unlocked the jail years ago by just coming into that realization of truth. And so, but because of that, it set me on fire for really being passionate, because my story is alopecia and hair loss. But everybody got a story. Everybody's dealing with something, so people can relate to that feeling of having this insecurity, this feeling of feeling unbeautiful or unworthy for whatever your reasons are, your isms or your schisms about the way you look or the things that you've been through. And so that's what I was so excited about sharing with everybody. Wait a minute now, y'all, I done found out something. And I want y'all to know, guess what? You beautiful, boo-boo. Guess what? It don't matter all of those external things. At the end of the day, when the rubber meets the road, it's really who you are as a person. It's your spirit within. And when you really learn to love and embrace that person, your beauty is going to come through regardless. That's what it's really all about. And so, anyway, that's my story. That is what I do, is to go and to bring that truth to everybody that I come in contact with. So today I want to talk to you about a very specific thing, because with this My Time at 9 p.m. Sunday night sessions, I have so many great topics that I want to cover with you guys. We're going to go deep with relationships. For those of you who don't know a little bit about my story, I have two beautiful daughters. I have an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old. I'm divorced. I was married for 21 years. And I got a divorce. So I've been through some changes in my life, but God has kept me, and He has healed my heart, my mind in such a beautiful way that I got to tell of His goodness. I got to tell how good He's been. And if He's been that good to me, I'm telling you, He'll do the same thing for you. So we're going to talk about divorce in these sessions, honey. Now that's a conversation right there in of itself. Those who might be considering divorce, we're going to talk about the real deal, holy feel of what you feel like, what that means, what that experience is like. How do you get over it? We're going to talk about being single. Oh my God. Being single. Lord, honey, we got to talk about that. And how do you finagle, the dating scene, online dating and being ghosted, all this crap that we're going through. We need a safe space so that we could really kind of chop that up, right? So that's the kind of things that we're going to be talking about with our My Times at 9. However, today, to get us started, we're going to be talking about the number one thing, the number one master key, I call it, in order for you to manifest what you want in life. I have had some amazing experiences. Once I learned that I could, that I actually had a hand in manifesting something that I wanted in my life, that it wasn't just happening by happenstance, that some people are not just lucky, that there's an intention that is set. And some people will talk about this manifestation process. They may talk about it from a religious perspective. Some people may talk about it, the secret, right? Some people will deal with it from a metaphysical standpoint or just a general spiritual standpoint of manifesting. There's so many different philosophies around manifesting, but I'm going to share with you the one thing that I know for sure, no matter how you want to frame it, there's one ingredient that you got to have in order for it to work. But before I get to that, I want to tell you my favorite manifestation story. Honey. Okay, so fellas, if you're on here, bear with us, because as women, we like to tell a story all through and through. Like, we like the details, okay? I need you to walk me through the door. I need to know what you was wearing. I need to know everything so that I could get a visual and feel like I was there in the moment with you. I know, fellas, y'all like, look, cause you just like cut to the daggone point of the story. No, I can't cut to the point. So entertain me, because I got to tell the story, but you're going to love this. You're going to love this story. And then I'm going to get to that master key, I promise. Okay, so this is my favorite manifestation story, and it just happened. It actually happened this year. So what had happened was, since, it's just us talking, honey, so now everybody has a celebrity a celebrity crush, right? We're allowed to have a celebrity crush. And I'm not just talking about like someone that you look at these beautiful celebrities and you're like, oh, he's cute. Or, you got Idris Elba, you got Denzel, Brad Pitt, all these beautiful people that we see and we're just like, oh, they fine. But you know what? I'm talking about that one. Get in your mind your one celebrity crush. The one that you're just like, even if you have a man, you're like, babe, listen, I love you, right? However, if I ever meet him, I'm going to need you to give me a pass. I'm just saying, just one night. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If he make me an indecent proposal, I got to, come on now. You got to give me the one. And you give him the one. Maybe he like Beyonce or whoever. You're like, you know what? I know. That's his little girlfriend. I'm not mad. I know he love her, right? So we have that one person. So I had this one person that I was just like crushing on for years. Now, those of you who are my close friends, please do not say who this person is. Don't shout it out because I don't want to say who the celebrity is. The only reason I don't is because the internet, things get back. Okay, and this story is interesting enough. I don't want it to get back to this person. And it really absolutely could. So I'm not going to say who he was. But believe me, he is fine. Okay? And so it was so bad. I was crushing on this man for years. To the point where I would, as you can see, I'm a little bit dramatic. So I would be like, when I meet him, that's going to be my husband, blah, blah, blah. I would tell my kids whenever he came on television, I'd be like, hush, your stepfather's on TV. Okay? And I would just be lusting after this man to the point where my kids were just like, Ma, you're disgusting. And I'm like, listen, when I'm going to manifest your stepfather in my life, you treat him right. Don't y'all be acting like baby's kids and run him away now. Okay, because we gonna be in love. So it was like this running joke of mama and this man. So even to the point where sometimes if he came on television, they'd be like, mama, your husband on the screen. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Be quiet. My husband's talking. So everybody knew that I had a thing for this man because they heard enough stories as if he was really a part of my life. Anyway, but I knew that I was going to manifest this man somehow. I was going to meet him. We were going to have a moment and I would talk about it, but I would hold that. There was no part of me that doubted that that was going to happen. How? I have no freaking idea. I don't know. I don't care about the details. I'm just telling you, I know I'm going to meet this dude and it's going to be amazing. That's it. That's all I got. The rest of it, I just got to figure it out and walk it out, right? Cool. So I held that for years, that every time I saw him, my mind, every part of me was like, come to me, come to me. So I had the opportunity to go to a festival. I didn't know he was going to be at this festival, but while at the festival, I found out that not only was he going to be at the festival, but he was going to be teaching a master class. Honey? What? I was like, yes, I knew it. I freaking knew that I was going to meet this guy. So, I'm blowing up the phones. I'm like, yes, honey, it's time. My husband's here, honey. I'm about to meet my husband. I'm on the phone with my sister. It was like this whole big thing. She's like, girl, what you going to wear? And I'm like, girl, I think I'm going to wear my, that shirt that do like this and it show all my cleavage. What you think I should? It was a production of Sandra finally having this moment. And so I just had this vision, like, I'm going to see him and then it's going to be like the movies. And then we're going to be like slow motion, like, hello, how are you? It's so nice to meet you. It's just something about you. All this crazy stuff going on in my mind. But anyway, I'm just saying that's how it works for me, right? So I had all of this stuff going on in my mind. Then I was like, I'm going to take a picture with him. And I could not wait to get this picture with him because I was the first person I was going to send it to is my children who was giving me grief all this time. And I could not wait to send them this picture and be like, me and your stepfather is together. Okay? And I knew that they would just be so excited, like, oh, mommy did it. Mommy legit did that for real. So I was so excited about this picture. You know, I was like, I'm going to get this picture blown up life size so that when you come into my house, you'll see the picture of me and him. He's all of like 6'3". And then people will be like, oh, okay. It's like this life-size picture. All this crazy stuff, as you can see. I just be bugging out with it. But anyway, my point is that he was going to be there. He was going to teach a master class. And it was going to happen. I manifested it. I was going to meet this guy. I said, okay. Cool. Now, realistically, the dude is married. I know that. But don't mess with my fantasy, okay? At least I get some of it. Maybe he won't be my husband, but we can still, you know what I'm saying? He can still love me, and we can love each other. Anyways. So, what ended up happening, long story short, is that I went into the master class, which was already in session, but that's a whole other part of the story. When I went into his class, he was standing in all of his deliciousness in the center of the room. And it was that it was an acting class, so all of the people, was about 50 people in the room. It was a big empty room with chairs all around him, facing him, and he's standing in the center. So now when I walk into the room, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, he's there, and he is as gorgeous as I knew he would be. Lord have mercy. So I go in and I see one of my acting friends, Jay, who was already there, and everybody knew this was like Sandra's moment. So when I came in, he's like, come sit next to me. There was a chair there. So I sit there and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just trying to gather my composure, like, whoo, that man looking so delicious. Jesus. Anyway, but I got to play it cool. I got to play it cool because, we can't let him know. We can't let him know. So anyway, he starts talking, and he's talking about the session, and then he says, so we're not going to do any pictures today because this is not about celebrity. This is about, us learning and focusing on the lesson. So there will be no pictures. What? What? Excuse me? You're not taking no pictures. Boy, bye. You crazy. I waited how long to meet you? I got to send our kids the picture of us together. What you talking about? See, now I know we gonna need counseling. We gonna need counseling. Cause already you know what I'm saying? You already upsetting me. You getting my pressure up, bruh. Cause I got this whole vision, and you gonna come out here on some, we can't take no pictures. Where they do that at? Come on now. So, I'm supposed to take my photographic memory. How am I going to send that to the kids? So, I was automatically getting my pressure up. Like, bruh, how am I going to sneak this picture? Because I'm gangster. Boy, bye. I ain't taking no pictures. Who ain't taking no pictures? Anyways. So, I'm just sitting there already trying to scheme. Now why I got to scheme, bruh? Why can't you just let me take my little picture? I'm like your freaking #1 fan. So how you gonna not let me take your picture? Already we starting off on a bad foot. I'm just saying we'll recover. But anyways, so I'm sitting there like, man, how am I gonna get this picture? So I'm trying to take it all in. I'm staring at him without trying to look crazy and get kicked out of this place. Like this chick is nuts. So I'm trying to keep my composure. So he decides, that the way he wants to do the class, he wants to ask, hey, does anybody have a monologue that they want to go over? I don't have any monologues. I didn't have a monologue in my back pocket. This was like off the cuff. He's just like, let's just do this right here. Anybody got a monologue? Anybody? And I'll coach you. And then you guys can listen to the coaching that I'm giving that person. And I'm just like, dang. I wish I knew. I would have came prepared so that I could play with him, right? I could talk to him. That would have been great. But I got nothing. I'm like, dang. So the young lady that's sitting next to me, she's like, I've got a monologue. And he calls on her. So he's like, okay, you come into the center of the circle. So she goes over to him, and he's, okay, well, what's your monologue? Blah, blah, blah. So, okay, he tells her how he wants to run it. He's like, you do it, and then I'll give you some feedback. Honey, let me tell you, when he told her that, he came back and he sat in her seat. right next to me, like right here next to me. And I'm like, oh my God. He is sitting next to me, which means like his leg is like touching my leg. Like I can feel the warmth of his body. And I can, like when he talks, the bass of his voice is like resonating all through me. And I'm like, oh my God. And you know how you see these pictures of like, or video of people that saw Michael Jackson and they're like fainting and you're like, really? And that's how I felt. I'm just like, bruh. Oh my God, he is next to me. And it's painful for me to try to keep my composure. And then wait a minute. How are you going to sit next to me and then you saying I can't take a picture? Really? Like I can't even finesse it. Like take out my phone and try to sneak a picture. Like you're killing me right now. But I'm sitting there and the whole time I'm like, I want to look at him. I want to see him. He's here. Finally, he's not on screen. He's sitting right next to me. So, but I want to like really like get a good look. I want to look at his hands. I want to look at his face, his beard, his hairline. I want to look, but everybody's in a circle. They will see me here looking crazy, staring at him. And he's going to be like, really? So how do I like play this cool and just, what am I supposed to do with myself? So, I mean, I think I probably like dislocated one of my eyes to like stare at him so I could like have this eye just kind of panning and zooming, looking at this man because I really wanted to see all of him. And then I was just trying to like remain calm and remain cool throughout the whole thing. And so he's there, he's talking, he's coaching her, and I'm just like, oh my God. But then it came to me in that moment. I was just like, as I'm taking it all in, when I was like fully present in the moment, I was just like, oh my God, he's sitting next to me. Like, this is the guy that I've been talking about for years. He's right next to me. I can feel him. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I did it. I did it. I did it. I manifested him. I kept talking about it. And he's right here. Yo, I did it. I freaking did it. That is awesome. And that joint was so exciting to me. But then more than that, you ever had the Holy Spirit speak to you in a moment where like there's this download where you know the Holy Spirit is speaking to you in that moment? And God was saying to me, your dreams are right next to you. Anything you dream, whatever you can speak out of your mouth and allow your mind to believe, you can have it. And in that moment, it wasn't even about him. It was about the lesson. I felt like I had just unlocked. You know how you play in a video game and you're on one level, but then when you get really good on that level, you unlock a whole nother level where it's like you got more men and you got more power and you're like, yes, next level. And I felt like the lesson was really about the understanding and the revelation about how powerful I am as a person, as a child of God, that this thing is real. So it wasn't even about him. It was just about, oh my God, this is real. God, you love me like that? Like, are you serious? We are powerful like that you could call a thing to you, believe in it, and it can come to pass. Oh my God, did you ever just want to run? Now see, you got to understand, I was brought up Pentecostal Christian. So I'm used to taking off. We take off and we get to running. Everything in me in that moment wanted to run around that daggone circle. You feel me? I was like, Lord, stop talking to me right now because I'm going to take off and run. I needed to just bust a move. I just needed to bust a move. And then I got so full because of course I can't take off running. I can't. I want to, but I can't. Because I have to remain calm because everybody will see me because we're in this daggone circle. So I've got all of this emotion, all these thoughts and things going on in my mind. I'm just like, oh my God. And I have to try to keep a straight face. But what happens? All that emotion starts rushing up, and I'm like, I'm going to cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry right now. I can't start crying. But I was so filled with joy. I was so full in my spirit that it started to well up in my face. And my friend that was sitting next to me, I was like, Jay, I'm gonna cry. And he's just looking at me like, no. You cannot cry. You cannot cry right now. Like, you gonna look crazy. And I was like, how do I have this moment sitting next to him without him realizing that I'm having a moment? That's how I know I was an actress, honey, because I was pulling it together. So I kind of turned my body to the side and I'm like, my God, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna start crying. And sure enough, I couldn't control it. The tears were like coming, streaming down my face, but I had to like not let him see me having this moment or anybody else that had their attention focused in that direction. And so my friend Jay, he's so sweet, bless his heart. He's like rubbing my back all inconspicuously. He's like, you're okay. We're like talking in between our teeth. You're okay. No, it's all right. Calm down. You got it. You're okay. And I'm like, and I'm crying. I'm wiping my tears away as quietly as I can. And then I just sit there and gather myself while he's still talking. And I just settle into the moment. But the beautiful thing was the realization, oh my God. And in that moment, I thought, I don't even need your picture anymore. It wasn't even about him. It was what God was really trying to show me. It was the aha. It was the moving towards the revelation. It was the moving into that next level of understanding, of faith, of power, of seeing, of believing, and then being able to see something that really set me up. That I was just like, God, you are amazing. Where it is I thought it was about this man, it's not about that man. It's about what God wanted to teach me in that lesson. And so that is my favorite manifestation story, which has then really set me so on fire ever since. So what did I learn? What's the number one thing? What's the master key, Sandra? How do you do it, Sandra? Let me tell you what it is. Come close. Y'all there? Listen. In order to manifest what you want in life, the main ingredient is that you have to believe in you. In you. What do I mean by that? Did you think I was going to say believe in God, the universe, and all of that? And yes, there are many steps to this process of manifesting, but without a belief in yourself, let me tell you something. I believe in me. I believe in me. Because I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm willing to do the work. And more importantly, I know that I am deserving of blessings of God. And there's a lot of things in our lives that we may want, and we may say that we want, but it's lip service, baby. You just talking out of one side of your mouth, but on the other side of your mouth, you don't really believe in you. There's something that's happening. There's an energy blockage that's happening because you don't really believe that you deserve it. You don't believe that you're worthy. Maybe some people would be too afraid to meet that celebrity because you think, I'm not good enough for him. Let me tell you something. He's married, but listen, whoever don't have nothing on me, I'm plenty of woman for him. I deserve to have a man like him. I don't need him, but I deserve to have a man like that. And I know that about myself because I am a woman who brings a lot to the table as well. So why not? Why not me? Why somebody else? But I've done that work on myself where I've gotten to the place where I understand my worth. And oftentimes in life, we can't manifest. And you know, when you talk about manifesting, it's magnetizing. It's the alignment of your spirit and your mind. And it's like a magnet. If you don't have that charge of belief, that magnet is not going to stick. If you try to put a magnet that has no charge on a refrigerator, that thing gonna fall down. It won't stick. What you want won't stick to you because you don't believe that you deserve it. That is the crux and the core of a lot of the challenges that we have because there are things that we've been through. There are belief systems that we're holding on to that no longer serve our highest good. And some of it could even be subconscious. We may not even know that we are repelling a thing from ourselves. It is the real work of peeling back those layers and figuring out, how do I really feel about me? What do I believe about what I deserve in my life? Because what you believe about yourself is what you're going to manifest in your life. Your life will tell on you what your beliefs really are. And so until you get to the place where you can really believe in yourself, know your worth, know that you're worthy, understand that you are powerful, understand that we are all, each of us, God has no respect of person. I like to say I'm his favorite, but I say that about my biological father. I was his favorite too. We're all his favorites. We are all king's kids. We are all heirs of the throne. And so he wants to bless us all equally. Do you want to be blessed? He believes in you. He knows that you're worthy. Do you know that you're worthy? Do you really believe in yourself? That you can speak a thing and call it forward? Do you have that magnetic part of you that is solid? Is your constitution strong? I know who I am, and when I speak a thing, it must come to pass. That's what I'm talking about. Not with lip service, but because you know it. And I'm not afraid to be wrong. But what if I'm wrong? No such a thing. No such a thing. I'm just that powerful. I didn't know. I probably might have met that man. It didn't matter if I was 85 years old and we ended up in a nursing home together. I would have been like, boy, you know how long I've been calling you? I knew I was going to meet you. Still holding on to my faith. Still holding on to the belief that I spoke a thing, I knew a thing, and it will come to me. It will come. And I want that for you as well. And it's not just that simple. Like I said, there's more to it. I mean, manifesting and that whole process of really unpacking that's a whole session in and of itself. We don't have time to go into all of that tonight. Tonight, I just wanted to impart with you just that very first thought. Can we just start with that? Believing in yourself and understanding your worth. And so what I want to be able to do is help. If that's an area that you really struggle with, I want to be able to help you. So next week, in our next session together, I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking specifically about, okay, Sandra, you got me. So I don't believe in myself. I really don't. I don't really have strong confidence and self-esteem. How do I get it? How do I do what you did? And so I can feel good about myself. How do I do that? I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to tell you next week, Sunday at my time at 9, I'm going to talk specifically about what are some of the things that you need to do to really begin that journey. And let me just say this, it's a journey. There is no point of arrival. I'm no guru at this. I have not levitated. I've only grown. And in that growth, I'm sharing what I've learned, but it's still a process for me. It's still a journey that I'm on so that I could get better and better and stronger and wiser. That is it. That's it and that's all. Right? And so, but wherever you are, how do you get to your next level? How do you open up that key to that next level where you have more power and more strength? And you're going to need that in 2020. 2020 is going to be an amazing year, but only if you commit to do the work. It ain't just going to be fantastic just because it's a brand new day on a calendar. You are the secret ingredient. If you want it to be fantastic, well, then what are we going to do to make it fantastic? We've got to put the work in. And the work begins and it ends with us being willing to be honest about where we are and set a goal for where it is that we want to be. And so I'm just here to support you in that journey, to be your sister, friend, your coach in whichever way that I can, and to open up some topics so that we can really shine a light on each one of them and see what's going on in there. What do I need to change? What do I need to shift so that I can get a different result in my life? So I invite you to please share this with whoever you think would benefit and get a good laugh, if nothing else, from my story. Share this video and to also let them know we'll be back here next week, Sunday, and we'll be talking about self-esteem, and I'll be sharing with you that key of how you're that number one step, how you're going to begin your journey to really love yourself deeper, to believe in yourself stronger, and how you're going to start to manifest some things in your life in 2020 in every area of your life.